welcome to EEMusicLIVE. Back when I was a kid in the 60s, I couldn't decide if I wanted to be a doctor, a fireman, or a policeman when I grew up. But one day I heard the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I saw all those girls screaming, and I knew right then and there what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So as a tribute to the Beatles, I'm going to teach you how to play A Hard Day's Night, which is one of my favorites. Now the chords in this song are basically pretty easy. Later on in this video, there will be a chord tutorial covering the chords that are used in this song. If you think you're unfamiliar with them, you can skip to that part of the video and study the chords and come back and you'll be ready for the lesson. Okay, we're going to get started by using the intro chord that starts the song. That chord is a G7 suspended 4, and it's formed like this. Now I've got my thumb on the 3rd fret on the low E string, and under it I'm making an F form, which is a regular F chord, like that. Okay, and we're going to strike that chord really strong one time. That's that famous Beatles intro chord for the Hard Day's Night. Okay? Alright, that's it. Strike that once. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been a hard day's night. And then we're going to go into the song. 6 beats, and then it's been a into the song, which starts with a G. It's going to start something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been a hard day's night. Now that was 6 beats. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's been a hard day's right into the song. Now when we get into the song, we're going to be playing a G chord like that, and a C add 9 chord like this. Okay, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and an F, back to G. Very simple. G, C add 9, F, and then back to G. Now that's our verses, okay? I like to call this a verse chorus combined because basically they're both the same thing. They're going to go something like this. G, 2, and then C add 9, and then back to G. 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, again. G, C add 9, G, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, and G, 2, 3, 4. Alright? And that's how our verses are going to be played, and our chorus. Now we're going to go to the change, or a precursor to coming back to this, and we're going to do C add 9. C add 9, 4 beats. D. Back to G. C add 9. And G. And that's our chorus slash verses. Okay? So it goes like this. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night, I should be sleeping like a log. C add 9. When I come back again, make me feel okay. Alright, now that's our verses and chorus. Okay, now we're going to go to the bridge, which is a B minor 7. When I'm home, B minor 7, 2, 3, 4, E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, B minor for 8 beats. Then G, 4 beats. E minor, C 9th, and D 9th. And that is our bridge. Okay, now the chords, as I said, will be covered at the end of this video, so if you're not familiar with these. just go to toward the end of the video. There will be an annotation on the screen to show you where to go in the video to get to the chord tutorial. Alright, let's play through the bridge one more time. Starting with B minor 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor. 2, 3, 4, B minor 7. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, G, 4 B's. 1, 2, 3, E minor. C9. D9. And then we're back into the song. Just like that. Now the strumming I'm doing is just 8th note strumming up and down. Nothing difficult, basic strumming. Alright, now let's talk about the ending for the song. What you're going to do is you're going to grab that G7 suspended 4 one more time at the end, and you're going to strike it like that, okay? And right after you strike it, you're going to go down to your high E string and play this. So basically you're holding on to what is like an F chord and adding the high G down at the bottom. Play your high E string, your B string, your G string, then back to your B string, and then you're going to take your finger off of the high G and you're going to have it down here on the F down there, okay? So it goes, you see that? That's F, an F note, and then your B string, and then your G string, and then back to your B. So it's like this. Pretty easy. High E string, B string, G string, back to the B string, open up that string, play the high E string again, B string, G string, then back to the B string, and do that for a while, and that's the ending. Okay, now before you do that, you've got to strike the chord. Okay, so you go. Now when I struck the chord, that took the place of playing that high E string. So it's like this. Go to the B string then open it up, back to the high string. One more time. And that's our ending for that song. Okay, let me show you the chords used for A Hard Day's Night. First, let's do the famous intro chord. That's a G7 suspended 4. Now when you hear that chord, you know what's coming next. It's A Hard Day's Night, okay? Right there, that's what we've got. We've got an F form at the first position, first fret, right there, F, A, and C. Third finger, or ring finger, is on the D string. Second finger's on the second fret, on the G string, and then on the first fret, on the B string, and then we're holding down F down here. We have to have that. Okay, but then we're holding that down because we're going to need that later, okay, when we do our ending. But we don't have to hold it down now because we've got this here. But it's a good idea to get used to holding that down, okay, when you're doing this type of chord, or an F chord at all, okay. So F, that's an F chord, but we've got a G note down here, high G at the third fret with the pinky, and then we're going to come up with a thumb for a G note up at the top on the low E string. Gives us that chord right there. It's a G7 suspended 4. Okay? Alright, now our next chord, or once we get into the song, is a G chord, textbook G. Okay, nothing hard about that one if you've been playing guitar just a little while. Okay, that's a chord you must know. You have your second finger on the low E string at the 3rd fret, your first finger's on the A string at the 2nd fret, and then you have 2 fingers down here on the 3rd fret on the B and the high E string. Okay, that's a textbook G chord. Now we're going to move from that G chord to a C add 9. Keep your fingers here on the fretboard. Move these 2 fingers down by 1 string. So now you have your second finger on the A string at the 3rd fret, and you have your first finger on the D string at the 2nd fret now. It's a C add 9. I'm strumming that from the A string. If you hit the E string by accident, it's okay. Not going to sound too bad, but it's a good idea to aim for that A string. Okay? That's your C add 9 chord. Now your F chord, as we talked about before, is going to be like this. F, A, C, and F. Just like that. Frets 3, 2, and 1 for an F. Okay, we're also going to do a D chord, which is a basic textbook D chord. You've got your ring finger on the B string at the 3rd fret, your second finger on the 2nd fret on the high E string, and on the G string you have your first finger at the 2nd fret. And you strum that from the A. Normally you strum your D chord from the A note because it sounds better. You want to avoid the low E string on that chord. Just kind of brush by it and just try to miss that low E. Okay, now we're going to have to move to a little bit more difficult chord. We have a B minor 7, like that, and we use this chord in the bridge. Now that chord's going to be made by going to your 2nd fret and barring that fret, starting with the A string down, and then you're going to come in with your 2nd finger on the B string at the 3rd fret, and then your 3rd finger is going to go to the D string at the 4th fret. That's a B minor 7. After that one, you're going to need an E minor, which is fairly easy. 2 fingers, take your middle fingers, your middle and ring finger, put it on the 2nd fret on the A and the D string. And you can strum all the strings on that one. E minor. The last 2 chords will be fingered the same. They're going to be a C ninth, like this, and a D ninth, like that. Okay? Okay, now we're at the 3rd fret. Most of our fingers are on the 3rd fret except for this first finger here, and it's going to be on the D string at the 2nd fret. Everything else we're going to bring on the 3rd fret on the A string, 2nd finger to the A string, 3rd finger down here to the G string, and my pinky's going to go down here on the B string. I'm leaving the E open. I'm kind of muting that when I strike that, and I've got my thumb up here. I'm muting the low E string, kind of touching that so that it doesn't sound. Okay, watch this. Now see how that sounds? If I let those E's sound, so I need to mute those. So I'm gonna kind of bring my finger until I barely touch that string. Thumb's gonna go down until it barely touches the string. And then you get that, and this finger is barely touching the high E string. That's something guitar players develop over time. They learn how to mute notes so they don't need and isolate to get notes that they want. Okay, so that's your C ninth. You're going to raise that a whole step for your D ninth. Back to G, and then your song ends. Okay? Alright, And those are the chords used in A Hard Day's Night. Alright, thanks for watching eMusic Live and allowing me to teach you one of my favorite songs of all time, A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles.